Hello, welcome back to the channel. I am popping back on here finally. I know it's been a while since my last video, but I did warn you guys that I was going to disappear for the month of August in my last video and in my last post, because I've been really busy taking a bunch of different mediumship classes and workshops and intensives to try and better my own skills, which I'm happy to report have massively improved. So that's been very exciting. That's going to be a video for another time though, like all the crazy cool stuff that I've experienced just in like opening up and learning more. Highly recommend learning. Learning you can never get enough of. But today's video is going to be on a different topic. I was just thinking last night, I woke up and I was like kind of meditating on the question, I'm ready to put another video out. What should it be on? I feel like my guides kind of popped in and gave me the idea because I was like, can I have an idea? Ask and you shall receive. They gave it to me. So today's video that I feel so compelled to come and chat about is, it has to do with manifestation. This video is not so much like the steps you need to take or the tips or the tricks. And it's just going to touch on a few major things that I'm sure we've all felt, I'm sure we've all experienced, from the moment that we make a wish and put a manifestation out there to the moment that it finally comes in. So let's hop in. So the part we're going to be talking about for right now, to start off with, is when you're manifesting your point A to point B, which is point A, you know, you get the idea, you get the concept, your mind is ready, and you're like, okay, let's go, let's do this. This is what I want. To point B, which is actually getting the thing. And I like to think, I know we've talked about this as like the waiting period in between, because that's when a lot of things are kind of in flux and the energies are in flux. Things can shift and change at any time. But basically what I'm trying to get at here is the universe needs time to conspire in your favor during this point. And there's a little bird outside my window, which I feel is like confirmation for me. Yeah, the universe kind of needs some time to conspire in your favor. I don't really know very many people, if at all, who put a wish out there, a big one, like big life shift kind of thing, like new job, new move, new place, new relationship, things like that. More often than not, it needs some time to kind of come about, to like happen, for the puzzle pieces to fall into place. Say for instance, me, like I just landed a new job, whew, yay me, that I think probably took me about 3 months from the point where I decided, okay, I actually want this kind of job with this kind of schedule, and hopefully it makes me feel like this. And on the surface level, so far it's checked all the boxes. I have yet to see when I go in, but the most important thing I was manifesting was that the job was going to have more ease. So hopefully it will have that. Yeah, in the midst of it, you know, I put that out there. I was giving the universe my order, telling my guides, this is what I want, lead me to this, help me to find this, help me to make sure I don't miss the opportunity when it comes along. Yeah, it took about 3-ish months from the point that I decided I wanted this. And so looking back, in hindsight, 3 months is not a long time at all. I would say that's actually pretty freaking fast to find a job in like this economy. But in the middle of it, like in the moment, I thought it was taking forever. You know, it felt like forever because in my current circumstances, it just felt like time was dragging. I really didn't like the schedule that I was working at my old job now. And it just felt like I was really suffering. And it feels like that when you're not in a good space. Every single second, every single moment feels like forever. It feels like a drag. Where I'm getting at, so I feel like personal anecdote is coming out here, but I guess this story needs to be told. So in the time period of me, you know, putting my wish out there, I want a new job, to landing the new job, obviously I went through my moments of desperation and my moments of like almost lowering my standards, where I was like, maybe I should just take whatever, maybe I should just take something with a lower pay, maybe I should just, you know, things like that. I could have done that. This is what I'm talking about, of like the energy from point A to point B is always in flux. You can always like change your parameters of what you're looking for. But I will say, when you hold fast to what you want, and you can be a little bit flexible. There are, of course, hold your non-negotiables, absolutely. But allow a little bit of flexibility. And the way that I allow a little bit of flexibility is by kind of just double checking, like meditation. Honestly, I just meditate on it. I'm like, can I find something like this? Yes, no. If not, what do I need to reconsider? What should I be a little bit more flexible on to find something that can get me as close as possible to what I want? Those are the kind of questions I like to ask, because it's not as rigid and it gives spirit a little bit more leeway to motion you towards the things that are going to be good for you. The next thing I want to touch on, this is the hard part. I think this is probably one of, if not the hardest part of manifesting, is the trusting. And I kind of like, when I say that, because it's cliche, nobody likes to hear that. It's not like, that's not a tactile thing. This part is more of a reminder. It's not really like a trust or else. It's more like, you should absolutely trust that what you asked for is coming, especially if you're like me and you ask about it a lot, either in your meditation practice, or you write about it in your journals, or you get readings about it, whatever you do, to kind of get a little bit of a peek of whether or not it's kind of coming your way. And if you are getting the message that it is coming your way, if you have asked for signs and are getting signs that are like, without a doubt, you're like, this has to be a sign. Believe it. Trust it. For me, I always get a ladybug landing on me whenever my big wish is about to come in. And like, there's not that many ladybugs flying around. There's really not that many ladybugs that I come across in general. And the fact that they're always timed right before I've always gotten something, I now know to like understand, like, okay, if I have like a random ladybug land on me out of nowhere, then this is my yes, golden ticket of like, it is coming. Don't worry. I also get a lot of dreams, tons and tons of dreams that basically tell me like, you're gonna get it. And I still will wake up and like call my friends and be like, do you think this means I'm gonna get it? But that's what I'm saying, is like, by not trusting, you just create more needless stress for yourself, and you don't need more stress for yourself. Like, nobody needs to add more stress. That's a cherry on top that you don't need to add to whatever else you're going through, because this life is stressful enough. The more that you can just allow yourself to flow, the more that you can just relax. Another thing that is worth mentioning that I've been seeing a lot in my private readings, especially as of late, so I feel like this is probably just a collective thing that's coming through right now, is the feeling of like something being way too above you to reach for. And I guess a better way to explain it is like, think of it as like you've always worked either like minimum wage jobs or something like that. And you feel like you can't ask, you feel like for whatever reason, it's too hard for you to attain more. It's too hard for you to like break out of those kinds of jobs and like reach for something bigger and reach for something higher. It's this feeling of like having a glass ceiling above your head and feeling like you just can't break out of it. And every single time, like, the message is always the same. Like, you already have it in you to be that level. You are already capable of attaining the thing that you are working for. You are already capable of attaining the thing that you dream of, the thing that you think about. Like, you already have it in you. And it's just this feeling of like, either you feeling like you're inexperienced, or that you're not good enough, or that you're not, you know, not at that level, you know, whatever it may be. I don't know if it's coming out of like low self-esteem or like low self-confidence or what it is. I think it's just, you need to give yourself that shot to just shoot higher and just do it. Just shoot your shot and do the thing, which we talk about a lot on this channel. So like, do the thing. But yeah, that's like the message that keeps coming through, is you are already capable of getting more. So get more. So ask for more, reach for more, apply for more. So yeah, I felt like that really needed to come through. All right, and then last but not least, the final thing is, again, something, all of these are just reminders. They're just reminders. This shouldn't be anything new, but I guess it's just a reminder for me to put out there because it needs to be heard. Again, it's that period of like waiting, quote unquote, in between for your manifestation to show up, for it to actually like happen. Again, like this is my personal belief, but I really do feel like the waiting is not really just a waiting period. A lot of the time it's literally like a growth period for you to, like, you get the idea and then you kind of have to like grow into, like, energetically meet that level of whatever it is you're calling for, or like trying to bring in. And sometimes it's also just waiting for like your guides and the universe and like your prayer to kind of shift into perfect place for you to be able to receive it. Because you don't, I mean, you can jump the gun. That's always free will. You can do whatever you want. But I think a lot of the time, especially if you're praying for like, let it flow to me, let it come to me in the best way possible, let it come to me in perfect timing, then you're going to get that. And I feel like divine timing plays a way bigger part in our everyday lives than we even realize, especially when you're on the spiritual path, and especially when you become sensitive to this pathway and like the way, you know, you become awakened to the true nature of things. I think it actually goes, you know, it's only to your benefit that things come in divine timing. We need to give divine timing more space to maneuver and manipulate things in our lives so that we can receive them in the best way possible. We can receive them in the best timing. We can receive them in the best mindset. So I know, especially for me, it's really hard to just like let go and just flow. I think it's hard for a lot of people, especially when you're really excited for what you're calling in. If you have a mind like me where it's like you come up with an idea and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to like shoot out of the gates running. But everything else needs time to catch up. It's a hard thing to do, to just wait and flow and trust. And so again, the best thing that you can do is to just go and enjoy your life. Go do the human things. Go wash your dishes, go watch a movie, go out with friends, go travel, get your energy out and about. Don't just sit there and wait for it. It's not gonna feel good. It's not gonna feel good because you don't know how long you're gonna be waiting for it. Could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. Yeah, you don't wanna be just sitting there waiting, because then your life is just going to become a series of wishing and waiting. Wishing and waiting, getting the thing. Wishing, waiting, getting the thing. And you need to like color your life more in between the wishes. You know, go out and do things. Go out and have fun. Live your life. I keep getting like colors and paints that are getting like dropped into my mind right now. Allow yourself to live a rich and vibrant life in between the big things that you're wishing for, because you're still living on this earth. You're still living on this planet. Don't waste your time here just waiting for the next thing. Because you're going to be waiting for it anyway, but you might as well go out and like go to your farmer's market, go out and shop, buy groceries, or, you know, garden, whatever it is. Live your life is what I'm saying. Anyways, I digress. I feel like I've jabbered on enough in this video, but it does feel good to come back on camera and post something, which I will hopefully do later today. But yeah, anyways, before I wrap this up, I do want to say my mediumship sessions, I have not launched the September dates for it yet. Hopefully once I get an idea of what my new work schedule is going to be like, then I will pop out sessions on the calendar. So those will hopefully go up sometime at the end of this week, whenever you're watching this, just check the date. But yeah, I still do have the intuitive sessions available. Those are the pre-recorded ones, which I can kind of send to you whenever at my leisure. So those are still available if you feel so called. But yeah, I cannot wait I have so much to talk about what I've learned with like all of my new mediumship skills kind of like just exploding out of me. Anyways, I feel like that is it. I feel like I am done with this video. Hopefully it gave you something that you needed, maybe tweaked your perspective a little bit. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.